having a smoke on my way to work. So this is quite a pipe. Some Orango Balkan Supreme. It is a, let's see if that'll focus on it, maybe not, handmade Kaywoodie. So Doug Owen from CargoHold was browsing online. He said, "Oh my gosh, that is a NW pipe smoker pipe." So thank you, Doug, for picking that up. That's great. Kaywoodie Company, New York and London. And again, I mean, this box is really original. It's got this kind of weird sleeve, kind of organic, even though it's man-made material. But I would guess this is from the 50s. That's just a guess. So, thanks, Doug. That is great. Might get rained on here. But, yeah, so it's election day. I'm sure everybody on both sides and everywhere in between is on pens and needles. But hey, Boeing settled their strike, finally, last night. So now that distraction can be eliminated and everybody can get back to work and just be productive. One hopes that management is somewhat chastened, but I doubt it. Until they change that board, I don't think there'll be any significant change. So I'm close to getting the Dodge running, I think. I have to go over to my local Napa store and pick up this part. It's a relay for the fuel shutoff solenoid. So I was getting pretty discouraged about getting that darn thing fixed, so it's sitting in my driveway. And I could have it towed. God, that seems so ridiculous. If it's a little part like this, so I need to exhaust all my options and that I can do comfortably. My dad was not a auto mechanic. He was not super mechanical, which is, he had many other sterling qualities, and you know, you can't be everything and do everything perfectly well, you know. I mean, we have to, I think as men, well, women have that too, where, oh, I'm a woman, so I must be able to do this, 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 and this, all simultaneously, all perfectly. No, you don't. No. There are a few people who can, and let's celebrate them, but it doesn't mean you have to do it. So, it's the same with guys. I mean, okay, you're a guy. That doesn't mean you innately know how to fix things or have a sense of how to repair vehicles. You know, it's just pretty silly, actually. I mean, it's just how you grew up, what you're exposed to, what your interests are. So, you know, let's just get real. And you do that by having a feeling of inadequacy, let's say, and then you make the space to examine that feeling of inadequacy. You know, how am I feeling about this? What is that about? And you know what's really good for that is pipe smoking. It just creates that kind of calm, quiet, introspective space that really facilitates that sort of inner dialogue. So, you know, there were dads in the neighborhood I grew up where, man, they were great. They could fix anything. They knew how to weld. They knew how to do stuff. You know, they could visualize how things went together and make it happen, and that's great. But you know, even if you grew up with your dad being like that, maybe you're not like that. You know, it's okay. It's okay. Determine what you are good at and capitalize on that. So I can do some things. You know, I have always had this weird interest in like airplanes and motorcycles and cars, although not exactly how they work. You know, I had a Honda 175, a CB 175 in high school that stopped working. So I thought, well, I'm a guy, I can figure this out. So I took it all apart. I mean, I took the engine apart. Yeah. And I'm sure it was just an expired battery. You know, it was not providing juice to the spark. In retrospect, in hindsight, it could have been something about the points, because I think it did have points. It was early. It was like a 69 or something. But I just went in and just tore it all apart, and then I never got it back together. And so it was literally a basket case in some boxes in my folks' garage. And they finally gave it to a neighbor kid, and I think he put it together and got it running, you know. So good for him. That's kind of somehow how things happen, you know. It's like this link, this happens, and then somehow that link happens, and then that happens. They manage to be able to put it together, and you know, so it makes this process that is good overall once you have the perspective to look at it. So I'm doing what I can for the truck. I can replace little parts, and so anyway, my neighbors, we'll see if they'll come through, and if this doesn't work, $100, get it running. So we'll see how that goes. It's starting to mist a little bit. We're just in that time of season. So election day. I mean, over here on the left coast, you know, it's kind of a done deal. We're pretty predictable. But it's more the lower down races that are going to be interesting. So we'll see how it goes. Doug, this is a good smoker. You know, it just has that easy breathing quality to it. Nice, just fits the hand real nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mm-hmm.